Hi, this is Jilly Bling. I have a fun project today. Look at this. And it pops up. First of all, the set is adorable. And this little pop-up action, look at that. So this is from the new catalog. And look at this one. Fancy. So I want to do one more for today's project. Brewed for You is the stamp set, and there's the outline, and then you can fill it in, and then you can make beer bubbles. And this is all about beer. I kept on trying to make this one a wine glass, but it's more about beer, which is fine, because I know plenty of people that like them some beer. So while I was working on these samples, I had stitched rectangles for the words. Look what just arrived. This is called Stylish Shapes Dies, and it is just like stitched shapes. There's no rectangles though, but oh my gosh, I love this. So I pulled that one off and we'll use that one today. And I'm using oval dies and stitch shapes, my favorite. These two are retired, but they work great for this. But you can use, instead of an oval, you could use a circle, or I'm sure in the new catalog there's ovals, and I just haven't got them yet. Oh, it just started raining and hailing out there. So this project, if you followed me for, I think it's been like a year and a half now, ever since COVID started, was right when I started trying to do YouTube videos. And this was one of my projects using Butterfly Brilliance. Isn't that pretty? And see how it's okay that this piece lays over the top of the oval? That's fine, because it clears the circle. So when it comes to assembly, at the end I do have a few tips, because I had to pull this one apart a few times to make it work. But I'll give you a few tips on when it comes to assembly. Then here's this one. So it's all the same thing, just in different colors. This one was colored with the blends. And there's this one. And these are old product, but I've had them sitting here just because I love this little pop-up action. I don't think I even have these stamp sets anymore, but they're pretty. Okay, let's get on to Brewed for You. So we will be using designer paper sun prints for the blue, or this is the back side of it in granite gray. And then, I don't know if you could tell, I have a whole lot of this that just retired in good taste, but you could use any wood grain paper, any paper you like, whatever you have. That is fine. Okay. So I was trying to figure out what color should I make the beer glasses, and I stamped it in cinnamon cider, bumblebee, curry, and daffodil, and I think all of them work just fine. I'm trying to go through the dies and figure out what does what. There are dies to cut the outline, which is what I primarily used. Cut the beer bubbles. But this one is just the outline. But then there's other pieces in here, for instance, this one right here and these, and I'm like, well, what do those do? So I put it on here. This one, and I'm sure that there's a good time and a good place and a good reason to use it, but I just haven't figured it out yet. Cuts these little pieces, and I purposely put them back in their little spot crooked so you could see how they cut stuff out. And then this one cuts it into two pieces, and on here there's little bubbles. You probably can't see them because it's cinnamon cider, it's dark color on dark color. But I'm sure that there's a good reason for that, and I just haven't figured it out yet. Okay, so let's do, so both of these I have the big jug of ale, and there's no, so there's 4 bottles, 1, 2, or 3 glass containers, these 4, And then this one fills in that, that fills in that, this fills in that. This, just because of placement, and sure enough, the word "oh, ale, yes" fits perfectly in there. So on both of these I used the jug. So how about on the front I just used three of the different glasses. That'll be the plan for today. So here's paper. So I'm going to stamp in black. And my Memento black is being busy, so I have this old one, which I love. And I'll stamp in that. But Memento is just fine. Oh, I didn't want to do the jug. That's okay. I'll use it later. Someone will use it later. And this one I might need a wider paper. I'll try to get it on there. Nope. This one's a little bit wider. For the beer. I guess they're all beer. Not much wider. Okay, that's good. So now to fill them in, like I mentioned, I have those 4 colors. And I guess it's like, what kind of beer do you like? So I will use, that's Bumblebee. I'll use cider. These two are somewhat similar, but I have a big pad of curry, a little thing of Bumblebee. So this isn't my favorite. I like the big pads best. So let's fill them in. Here's the fill in stamp O, and then where's the gray? Okay, I'll do that in a minute. So this one I'll fill in. How about daffodil, curry, and cider for that one. So my stamp pad needs re-inking, but it's kind of fun to ink it up because I see that the corner is darker, it's a little bit heavier in color. So now when I stamp it, the corner of my stamped image is going to be just a little bit darker. I kind of like that. Probably should have figured out what to do on the inside before I started the video, but we'll just wing it. Cinnamon cider. I had it ready to go to garage sale. I was like, that's going to be nice for some dark beer. And crushed curry. Okay, so I'll use the dies to cut these out. Oh, let me do the little foam thing. So there's 2 different size foam things. This one is for the big, I think it's good for this mug, and then this one here is good for the little glass. On one of the cards I put the foam on here, and I don't know that it really works, but put in there. I think it's on this one. Oh, it's kind of covered. I don't think it works so good there, but don't tell anyone. Okay, so let's do two foam. this went together really fast, and it was really fun. But I think it was so fun because there's a lot of people around me that like beer. Personally, I don't care for it. Never have. But I know others do. So I'm cutting these apart because when I run it through on my machine, my cutting plates, they're a little well loved. They've got these lovely lines all over them. And it's nice to have each of these images go through just one time. If I left it on the strip, cut out this one, all those would run through. Then cut out this one. These would have like 4 passes before I cut them out. So that's why I like to cut up stuff. Okay, we are getting there. So, I will put pictures of my little templates on my blog, but I'll leave them sitting here for just a minute. If you can just hit the pause button, and then you can copy or write down the information. This template is cut 3 to 4 inches, 3 by 4, and there's 2 templates. Then you score it at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, right here, here, here. This little template is 3/4, here I have it right here, 3/4 of an inch by 2 1/4, and you score it at 1 1/4. So that is this paper and that. So I'm going to do the scoring, and I'm going to leave these sitting right here. Okay, so they're scored. And let me leave these sitting here just a minute, and I'm going to do the words. Let's see, I have another round for your birthday, and I owe you one or several. I kind of like that, I owe you one or several, because that could be for any occasion. Don't people like owing each other beer rounds? Nice. I love it when it works out. Okay, so here's the die, my brand new die. Isn't it like sparkly because it's so new? It feels substantial. I don't know if they changed the way that they do them, but it feels nice. So if ever you have a die and you're like, oh, that's too narrow, flip it over, and the cut area is in the middle. So that gives me a little bit of room for placement. Like I could drop this down, and it looks like I'm about to cut off the top, but I know that I have into the middle of the die to get my words lined. But you know what, looking at this is the brand new one. It looks like there's dashes stitching on the outside, and on the inside are just little paper piercing, just little dots. And then out here are dashes. Interesting. I didn't even notice that. Well, here I just have the dots. Oh, well, kind of fun. Okay. And there it is. Okay, but I'll take pictures of these templates and put them on my blog. And my blog is jillybling.com. Okay, so we'll use that. Here's what I did the scoring on. So I'll just fold that over and just make sure that it's square. As in this tip here meets up with that tip. And then the same with this. Okay, so that's scored at 1, 2, and 3. And then this one, here, let me put it on this dark paper. Can you see that? And then that one is scored. Okay, so I do have tips on assembling the card. First, start out, fold the card base in half. This is early espresso. I don't know if these are beer colors, but they're certainly guy colors. Okay, and the white paper is for the inside. And this is just going to go on here. And then this piece is going to be for, see how there's wood grain right back here, kind of at an angle? I was thinking charcuterie board, and this one is at an angle. It's at an angle because of the dimensions I cut the paper, but I kind of like it. Okay, so we'll do this one. Oh, I've got these extra pieces with this one right here. So if I put it on there, the paper is 2 by 3. It's like, ooh, I could get it really close, but if I put it at an angle, fits good. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Here's that one. Okay, so this piece here, before you stick it down, I have a tip. And the tip is, isn't that beautiful? Oh, I kind of want to keep it for something else. And even look at the perfect placement of that. I guess beer doesn't belong out in the fields, but okay. So put your adhesive right around the outside only. No adhesive on the center. And there's a reason for that. I'll show you here in just a minute. Okay, so this adhesive is just around the outside edges. Okay, and now we're going to take the larger oval die, the stitched shapes, larger oval die, put it right here in the center and run it through. Okay, so there it is. And take it out. This piece, oh, we need that, will just be put into a bag. Hopefully we could use it later. But the reason you didn't put adhesive in the center is, did you see how these pieces, you could just separate it, because we're going to use this piece of early espresso right back into there. And then this is going to go on top, so we can attach that now. And I know you might be inclined to attach your little cutout beer glasses, but if you can, hold off for just a minute, and I'll show you why. So this will go in here, and what direction? I planned on putting 3 of them in there, but I don't know. Let's try doing it this direction. So I'll put the words on. Okay. And so now to place your pieces, let's just set them on here for now. And it's okay to go over the top, but not over the edges, the outside edges. Actually, that looks pretty good, just like that. It's kind of like it's off in the sky. So let's put these pieces down, or you know what? Because we have a plan, let's just take all this and do the mechanism, and then we'll come back and place these pieces. And I'm saying all that just because when I put these on, in the end, my bottle was crooked, and in the end, this one kept on hanging up. You could see how it's over the oval. It's really close right now where it's not hitting. But I think at the end would be the best time to place the pieces. So for the inside, oh, I have a good bad example. This is bad. When you're looking at it, you're probably saying, that's really just fine. But when you put this here, and you take this and put it here, look what happens. It gets covered up. So we have to be careful of that. So, bad. Let's stamp on here, and I'm purposely just going to stamp at the bottom. So I'll start out with, you know, I didn't do any of those oh, ale, yes. How about, okay, I'm going to try to keep this one simple, which is hard. And I'm going to put the oh, ale, yes, maybe right here. Well, you know what? So looking at this one, if I put it right there, I think maybe you could go in the middle. Okay, so this guy could go here. I want the beer foam on it, so I'm going to leave a little room. Oh, not good. Okay, try again. Probably should have my little pad underneath here because I'm stamping with polymer. Okay, and let's do the foam and the bubbles. Foam for this one. Big foam, and bubbles. Bubbles. I'm going to keep that handy. Look on here how I have the bubbles right up there. Okay. So done with that. So now to color the glasses. And I'm doing them just random colors. Probably different than they are on the front. Okay, and then the oh, ale, yes will be in the darkest. Right there in the middle. Good. Okay, so I didn't put anything up here on purpose. So I'll attach that. Okay, so now for the mechanism. So right here, I have this piece folded in half, and I'm going to put liquid glue here and here, and this is the part that opens. So it's just folded in half. And I'm doing liquid glue because the butterfly ones, it's been over a year, and I opened them up, and the regular adhesive, it let go. So I had to go back with liquid glue. So might as well start with liquid glue now. Okay, so this piece here, I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right here against the crease and not wedged way into the, maybe so you could still see the fold line. And I'm going to get it about center. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just so you could close the card. Okay, and just let that sit for a minute. And next is this piece. There, it could dry. So this piece, there's the little side and the big side. I'm going to put liquid glue, and I'm going to avoid about an 1/8 inch on either side of this. So I'm going to put the liquid glue here, small side, big side, liquid glue right in the middle. I don't know if you could tell where the glue is. So there's no glue here and no glue here. Okay. Now, on the card, on this piece that we just put in here, that's the glue side, and I'm going to put it right next to that. It's like, I'll hold it up. It's almost touching the oval. So now you know why I avoided putting glue right here on the underside, because I don't want the card to stick closed. I might have a little bit there. Nope. Okay, so then I'm going to close this part right here, close that part, and I'm going to put glue over all of this right here. And now the oval will go into this oval. And because it's a liquid glue, you have time to move it around. Just hold it right there, because that's all that's holding it together is that one little piece. And there, that's how it works. But I'm going to let it dry just a little bit more. Maybe I'll put those little dots on it. So I have these. I should look up if they retired or not. And I'm going to put 3 of them on here, just because they look a lot like beer. Okay, so I think that all the liquid glue is probably dried by now. So there, you could see how it works. Okay, so the tip in assembling this is, first of all, we could put dimensionals on. You know, this one I might have it just as flat. It's going to be hard with the beer foam. Okay, so let me see how this is. You know, at this point, I think I'm just going to put a little adhesive here and a little bit there. Set this where I think it should go. Boop, stay right there. And then this one will go on dimensionals, but that one there's, it won't hold up on the movement of the card. So, see, that works just fine. Okay, so they're going to go down. You know, I'll do dimensionals. Before I push it down too far, oh, that's fine. Boy, there's a lot of clearance. Maybe I'll try pressing my luck and putting it over, out a little bit further. Yeah, that's fine. See, I'm just watching for it to hang up right on here. Okay, and before I put it down too far, yeah, that works fine. Okay, and then this one is going to go right here. Okay, now for this. I don't know if I want the outline to show or not. Just a little bit. Then here's the other one. Okay, now let those dry. Okay, this one with the solid background, it's, I don't want to say boring. Let's put a few more of those bubbles on it. These right here. You can hardly see them. Okay, I think that is it. But look how cute that is. Bet you if I called Tony over here, he'd give me a thumbs up on it. Because it has to do with beer. Okay, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.